This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning, everyone. How you doing? Let's do a short segment on what we've called a moment of gratitude. We make a bracha every morning. Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, zoikeif kefufim. Hashem straightens up the bent, and everybody knows that there are these little discs in the back, and they're little bones that fit together. But what gives it some degree of cushioning is some of the liquid. But if it's not lubricated properly, or if there's any strain, it could be quite painful and debilitating, and almost a person would be completely incapacitated. So when a person stands up in the morning, they have to appreciate the fact that they're able to get out of bed, stand up, stand erect. So we'll talk a little bit about the bones. When a person is born, they have over 300 bones, and in an adult, they have 206 bones. So the question is, what happened to 100 bones? What happened? So the answer is, the bones fuse together, and it reduces the individual count. So it's interesting. In the animal kingdom, there are two general groups of creatures: vertebrates with a backbone, and those invertebrates, right? Now, the more complicated the creature is, the more complex, the more sophisticated, generally they'll have the spinal column. So the spinal column gives your back support, but at the same time, it's not like a stick. You could bend it over. It's an amazing thing. It's hard. The bone is very hard, and nevertheless, it has a great degree of flexibility. So the bone segments interlock, and they could move. So these are the vertebrae. Now, through the vertebrae, the spinal cord passes through the center of the vertebrae. And in the discs surrounding the spinal cord, you have, they're filled with fluid, and it provides cushion, and it absorbs impact. So it gives strength, flexibility, and safety. And the spinal cord passes from the brain down to the vertebrae. So what's interesting is, the bones are alive. They're not sticks and stones. They're feeling entities.
They have a blood supply.
That are connected to the brain. How many vertebrae do we have? Humans have around 30 vertebrae. 13 at the ribs, 7 in the neck, and the remainder below the ribs. A snake, as cursed as it is, has 400 vertebrae. It's interesting. The Gemara says someone who doesn't bow.
It's all vertebrae.
Yeah. Someone who doesn't bow by moedim, the shidra turns into a snake. Right? So, yeah. You don't have enough flexibility, we'll make you very flexible, right? The bones, again, we mentioned, are alive and connected to the brain. They're like bolts and supports. And all of this planning and cunning and tremendous architecture, where it's alive but it's not alive. It's structure, it's physical, it's bone, it's like a stone, and nevertheless it's connected to the central nervous system. So it's an incredible function of the body, that it provides support and it provides flexibility. And if a person is able to get out of bed, stand up on their feet, and they're not in too much pain, so you have to thank Hashem. Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, zoikeif kefufim. Okay, Rabbi, have a great day.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.